Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Tom and welcome back to a brand new video, and this is episode number 14 of my F1 2015 Zero to Hero career mode. And as you can see, we are here at the wonderful Japanese Grand Prix in Suzuka, and one of my favorite tracks on the calendar, one that is so satisfying as a driver if you get it all hooked up. And as you can see right now, we're on the grid, starting from the back as per usual. And if you guys did miss the last episode, then I do recommend you go check it out. It's an absolutely incredible race at Malaysia, and we had an incredible battle between myself and my championship rival Nico Rosberg, and it really sets the tone for the next couple of races in this career mode. But as you can see, we just went through the setup there quite quickly, just applying the upgrade that we got from the last race, and also we have actually got another joker to serve. And once again, for the second race in succession, we've got no first lap overtakes, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but we're going to go ahead with it anyway. As you can see, we're going to jump into the race now, and fingers crossed we can try and get a good result here at Japan. Obviously, we're going to need a big performance here in one of these, one of these tracks where if you get your strategy right and your pace is good enough, you can do some serious damage around here. So as you can see, we get off the line here. We're on the prime tyres, by the way, if you can't see already. So we're going to be going long in this first stint to try and hopefully be a bit faster at the end of the race. So here we go then. Now on to the start of lap 2, we can finally overtake, and that's exactly what we're going to do as we get the slipstream and pull to the inside and overtake Pascal Wehrlein up the inside of turn 1. They're breezing past him nice and easily, and we're now on the back of Fernando Alonso's had a bit of a poor start here at this race. He isn't on the prime tyres to be fair to him, but here we go now around turn 3. We're going to go around the outside through the S's section on Fernando there. Fantastic move on him, and really trying to put in a shift early on here. The more overtakes we do on these prime tyres, the better it sets us up for the latter part of the race. So as you can see now on the back of ZERO2HERO, going through the S's now through the Dunlop curve, I believe, and we're all over the back. We're going to pull to the inside here, which will become the inside, sorry, it's on the outside, and we're going to take the inside line through the next corner, and we make a nice easy move there on the Indonesian driver, who in real life may or may not drive in the next race at Spa. But moving later on onto the start of lap number 3, DRS is now enabled as we set the personal best lap of the race, and we're all over the back of Danny Kvyat. A little bit of dummy there as we pull to the inside, and we're just going to breeze up the inside of the first corner there on the Russian driver, and we get ourselves up into P16 and behind Jenson Button now. And so far, solid progress as we move on a couple of corners later at the end of the S's, and we're all over the back of Jenson here. We're going to pull to the inside and make the move nice and easily there, and Jenson doesn't really push much of a fight of us, and we make the move for P15, and we're now chasing down Felipe Nasr, who, as we go through 130, we get a fantastic run through there, picking up some slipstream. We're going to go to the outside. Can we possibly pull off this move? Nasr squeezes us right onto the grass there, but we are going to make the move on the Brazilian. Nice easy move around the outside, and a fantastic overtake on the Sauber driver. So a really nice overtake there for P14 as we move later on midway through lap 4, and we're right on the back of Sergio Perez now. So far making some really good progress. We're going to try and dive one up the inside of the chicane here, sorry, the hairpin, and a great late braking move actually up the inside. Perez is still there on my outside though. He's not letting this one go quite easily. He's going to have the inside line through the next corner, but because I've got the rear wing upgrade and I've got my rear wing set to 1 for this race, look at the straight line speed. We just pull ahead of Perez there and swing in front of him to hold on to P13 there, and if we had a default setup for that, we wouldn't have been able to make that move stick. So it just goes to show how important the upgrades are in this series to try and make overtakes stick. So as you can see, moving later on, halfway through lap 5, we're on the back of Jolyon Palmer. We're going to go to the outside here. Can we possibly make the move before 130? Yes, we can. Nice and easy. Once again, the straight line speed, just like I said a second ago, really paying off with that one rear wing. So a really nice overtake there on Palmer. And we now make our way onto lap 6, and we're right on the back of Nico Hulkenberg as we go through the Dunlop here. And we get actually a great run through the corner on these prime tyres. And it's starting to get a little bit second hand now. We squeeze Hulkenberg to the grass, but he's having none of it. He goes up the inside. I'm going to set him up for a switchback, and look at this. The absolute speed I carry through the corner, and I just walk up the inside of Hulkenberg there. So a fantastic move. Literally played Hulkenberg like an absolute puppet through that corner. We now move on to the end of lap 6. We've got a couple of cars diving into the pit lane there, Ericsson and Magnussen in the pits, and also I believe another car there of Bottas. But meanwhile, we're now trying to overtake Max Verstappen as we pull to the inside. We're going to try and make a nice easy move up the inside of the first corner, and Verstappen's going to try and hold it on the outside, but there's no room there, and we make the move for P7. And later on that lap, we catch up to the sister team, Toro Rosso, and as you can see, all over the back of Carlos Sainz here. Can we possibly make a move? We're going to go to the outside, but the Toro Rosso is actually sticking with me in a straight line. Looks like we have to try and make the move around the outside of 130. Yes, we do. Nice easy move, and we just managed to get ahead before the braking zone on Carlos Sainz there. So that is us now up into P6, and I believe there's a couple more cars in the pit lane, so we should gain a few more positions here, as you can see. And Sainz and Verstappen, I believe, stay out, or at least, yeah, they do, they stay out, so I was right there. But moving on to the start of lap 9, as you can see, now the top 5, I think they're all in the pit lane, and we're going to take the lead of the race here. So this is where my strategy is going to come into play. Staying out on these prime tyres is a bit of a different strategy, and later on the end of lap 11, Rosberg is all over the back of me on those fresh mediums. I'm pitting in because my primes are absolutely toast, and we're going to come in for a first of 2 stops this race. So we're going for one less stop than the AI. That is the plan. So as you can see, getting into our pit box, hitting our marks, onto the white wall medium tyres, and underway we go, and hopefully we can rejoin us some sort of clean air so we can try and attack on these medium tyres. As you can see, Vettel were there, and I think Bottas just walking past on the pit straight, but we're going to get off the limiter any second now, and hopefully we can rejoin some clean air. Like I said, there goes the Red Bull, I believe, of Ricardo, I think, and we're going to rejoin just ahead of the Renault of Kevin Magnussen. And if you remember 2 laps ago, Magnussen and Ericsson were actually ahead of us on track, so we've managed to overcut those 2 drivers. So some great strategy from me then, at some pretty decent pace on the prime tyres. And as we move on to lap 13, you can see Ricardo here, his engine's actually blown up. Ricardo's had an engine failure just in front of us. I've never had that before. His engine popped through the hairpin, and he's actually out of the race. So Ricardo out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Now on the end of lap 18, we actually retook the lead of the race because other people pit, but look at that, the back end just snapped on us through the final corner, and Rosberg's actually going to capitalise on this by overtaking us, and we throw away the cushion that we had of about 5 seconds or so over the German driver and our championship rival. So 1 lap later, I literally had enough. I was going to come to the pits, come in for our last stop of the race, and go on to another set of mediums once again. But Rosberg, as you can see, he really did benefit from that mistake of mine, and I've got a lot of work to do now in this final stint to try and recover that lost time. But a pretty decent stop there from the Ferrari boys. 2.1, I've got to say, one of the better pit stops I've had in a long time on this game. And now we're going to wait and see where we can rejoin on the track. Now we're currently in P3, which isn't too bad, but we've got a couple of cars coming down the pit straight now as Massa overtakes us. And is Vettel going to get us on the pit exit here? It looks like he might just get us. Yes, he does. He goes around the outside and gets us there on the exit. So unfortunately we lose a couple of positions, but hopefully we can try and recover. Now we are in P5, so that's not too bad, but we're now all over the back of Vettel here, who is on prime tyres. So right now we're going to have the benefit of having the faster tyre, because we obviously used the prime earlier on in the race. So as you can see, we're all over the back of our teammate here, and Vettel just has no pace on the prime tyre, and I'm literally all over the back of him on these fresh mediums, which are right up to temperature, as we get a brilliant exit through the S's, through the Dunlop curve, and we just fly up the inside of Vettel there. Nice easy move. So a nice simple overtake on our teammate. Obviously the team wanted us to take it nice and easy and not cause any sort of crash, but now literally on lap 21, Vettel does run up the inside of the first corner, and Rosberg's coming out of the pit lane himself on a fresh set of hard tyres. I'm going to try and go to the outside. Rosberg squeezes us to the grass, but I'm going to take the inside line through the next corner into the S's and make the move for P3. And crucially, we actually managed to undercut Rosberg by doing that pit stop a couple laps earlier than him. So a really good strategy call from me there, and managing to stay ahead of Nico Rosberg. Is now lap 22. We dive one up the inside of Massa, but we get it all wrong, and we actually have to go across the chicane here. So not really the best situation with a dive bomb, and obviously that wasn't a legal overtake. So I decided to give the position back to Massa. So as you can see, even though he sort of got past me there, I'm going to let him get past properly, because that was a bit of a dirty move on my behalf. So I let Massa overtake me there and regain P3 for the time being, but it's not going to be for very long, as I dive on back up the inside of turn 2, just because of the pure difference in grip that I have on these tyres. And we walk past Massa for P2 there and regain our position. And Hamilton is actually the guy who's in the lead, and he's literally miles ahead, so he's going to be walking this race, because no one can touch him. He's literally in a class of his own today. But on to the end of lap 23 now, and Massa hasn't let us go. As you can see, he's going to fly up the inside of us, and look at the straight line speed in that Williams. I mean, I can't even match that. He literally just walked past us way before 130R. Massa makes a move there into P2 and retakes the position that he had a couple laps ago. But I'm having absolutely none of it here. Going through the chicane, I want to try and get that position back straight away. As you can see, now DRS is going to come available now as we come across the start finish line to start lap 24. All over the back of Massa here, going to try and go to the outside. Can we make it stick? A little bit of contact, but we are going to go for it. We actually back out the brakes early to switch back on Massa here and get up the inside of the next part of the corner. The exact same carbon copy almost of when we overtook him a lap ago there to regain P2. And it's a yellow flag in the background, so something must have happened behind us. But either way, we take P2 there from Massa, and I think that's going to be our finishing position this race. As you can see, skipping onto the last lap of the race, Hamilton comes across to win the race, and I'm going to come through for a brilliant second place and gain some more points on Nico Rosberg, and crucially 2 more upgrades. So that is going to be absolutely crucial for us for the championship, to gain some more upgrades. accolades and also some points on Nico Rosberg. So as you can see, looking at the podium there, Hamilton wins the first race he's won in a long time. So I can't remember the last time he won a race, but it's been a long time for Lewis Hamilton, and he's definitely been, you know, the worst of the two Mercedes drivers this season. So that was a much needed victory for him. But second place for us, and also third place for Massa there. A good drive from him. But overall, 18 points for us, which is going to be absolutely solid for the championship. And fingers crossed, we might just overtake Rosberg this race. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll have to wait and see, because I'm not sure where Rosberg finished in the end. So we're going to move into the final race results. And as you can see, looking at the final results, Rosberg is down in, where is he? Is he in the top 10? Rosberg's not even in the top 10, so Rosberg's had some sort of problem. Looking at the final results, Verstappen's 4th, Vettel's down in 5th place, and then Sainz is in 6th, and Magnussen's 7th. So where the hell is Rosberg? Rosberg is way down in P15. So something's happened to Nico Rosberg that race. I mean, I don't know what happened. We must have missed it, but Rosberg must have had some sort of crash or something, or a problem, or a puncture maybe. But Rosberg has crucially dropped 18 points to us in the World Drivers' Championship. So that's going to be massive for the championship, and also for Hamilton. It's going to bring him right back into play. And looking at the Drivers' Championship, you can see that me and Rosberg are equal on points going into the next race in Kota, and also Vettel and Hamilton are still right in this, only 40 points covering the top 4. So crucially, Vettel and Hamilton bringing themselves right back into play this race because of that Rosberg DNF. And also looking at the constructors, you can see that Ferrari are still ahead of Mercedes also, but thanks to the Rosberg poor results. So overall, a really positive race for us, and some massive points gained in the championship. And also crucially, I believe 2 upgrades, which we will confirm in a moment looking at the permutations. And indeed, that is 2 spins off the wheel in second place. So we're going to do that right now, as you can see, and hopefully we can try and get something good to add on to already pretty good setup here as we go now into the first upgrade. And we get the front anti-roll bar, which is pretty nice, a new upgrade, so we will take that, thank you very much. And hopefully the second one we don't get a joker, and it's going to be the differential on throttle. So 2 fairly okay upgrades. Crucially though, no jokers, so that is going to be massive for us for the next race. No more jokers, we can actually have a proper start, so hopefully we can maybe win the next race. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, then please do leave a massive thumbs up on the video, it would really help me out. And also, if you're new in here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to try and bang out this series, guys, in a couple of days. So hopefully you guys look forward to it, and this series is really starting to heat up now, and the battle between me and Rosberg gets really intense in the next couple of races. You don't want to miss those. But nevertheless, guys, I've been Thomas MSD, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.